Genesis 1:2 states, "And the earth was without form and void." This tells us that initially there was only the dark universe, and that was the essence of pure energy. Then Genesis 1:3 states, "And God said, Let there be light, and there was light." Now, we are not being religious here. We are being as scientific as every scientist can be. But what we present here is to go back to the source, the cause of how the cosmological universe came into being. We are going to emphasize on Albert Einstein's E=mc² theory, and also talk a little bit about the photoelectric effect. Einstein's formula for energy, E=mc², is, of course, E=energy, m is the mass, and then c² is the speed of light times itself squared. But here Einstein is defining energy in terms of light and mass. But the science that we work with, which is Dohgon African science, is different. Dohgon African science has its own formula. It is the formula called the cosmogonic formula, or the formula for cosmogony. Now, the formula for cosmogony is stated thus: E=1-2-3-4 space 9-8 space 27 space 99-100. Now, this formula has nothing to do with light, but what it has to do with is that it tells us that we have to deal with waves, which is what pure energy is made of, waves within the dark universe, and how these waves become transmuted, or in other words, as the process of the cosmogony goes along, the waves divide into half waves, and then the half waves accumulate to become flux, and then the fluxes accumulate to become mass, and then after the mass has become complete, it gets to a critical mass point, and the critical mass then transforms into matter. So this is what we study. Now, in both Einstein's E=mc² formula, he deals with space-time. Remember, space-time, that's a duality. When you look at dualities, some quantity has to be the numerator and another quantity has to be the denominator. So space-time means space is the numerator and time is the denominator. Now, in the photoelectric effect, we also have a duality, and the duality is wave-particle. Now, wave is the numerator and particle is the denominator. There's something wrong here. Space-time, space is numerator and time is denominator. Wave-particle. Now, wave becomes numerator and particle denominator, where in Dohgon science it doesn't work like that. In Dohgon science, we also have duality, and our duality is particle wave. We deal with particle wave duality. In other words, the particle is the numerator and the wave is the denominator. Now, by this, we then create a situation in which light has to go back and discover the source from which it originated. In other words, we have the science that traces light back into its source, and so therefore there is no destructive nature of science at all. We trace light back into its source, not from its source to somewhere else where it creates destructions. Now, this is the science that you are going to learn on our side, and we hope that you do enjoy, and please communicate with us and ask any questions that you wish to ask. I'm Professor Momo. Thanks for being a part of us.